Mm. So as we gather here in the sacred ground of sovereignty, just let your breath move your attention into your nostril area. And your focus be you in a physical bodysuit. The breath filling the body, moving energy of life and joy and laughter through the body, right on down and out the feet, rooted deep within the Mother Earth. And there's our sisters. There's Arlie and Susan and Margie, all those who are on the calls with us, and those who don't make the calls often but are doing their circles. There is our network. We breathe a hello and a handshake and a love into that network, holding space to broadcast values into form for our future. And let your attention move and bring that energy and richness from deep within the Mother, deep within sacred circles of sisters, up and lifting up to the sky, way up to the sun, knowing that the energy's there, but saying to the sun, we need more energy. Things are happening here and growing. It's requiring us to weave and to bend and to stretch, and we want more energy. Those channels secured, bringing energy from our home down to expand our capacity to hold energy of good. Get a sense of that energy being moved into the entire space of the planet by those souls in male bodysuits who have our back, who love designs that build good. Let that energy surround you. Bringing that all here into the sacred space, this circle of crystal broadcasters. We are here to vision the future, to hear from the future, to bring the future here. And we have great tenacity and resolve in that commitment, in that sisterhood. And we declare the space prepared for that. And so it is.
I just think, well, everything, life is always perfect, but I know for me, this gathering with you all has been incredibly powerful and grounding during a time. I'm just so grateful. I know that we have a different choice, and that in that choice, great things can come, because I just feel so grateful, incredibly grateful, that we're here now doing powerful work, where we might say those that aren't on the same journey are frailing in what the world is saying is going on, where we know what's going on, and it's divinely blessed, and great things are coming out of it. Great things are coming out of it. I'm just so grateful for the solidness I'm feeling, and these meetings or these gatherings every week have really fine-tuned them. I just can't, I can't put it in words. It's but thank you, Sharon, for bringing us all together. But thank you all for being there, and it's been a very powerful event, and I thank you. We're the lucky ones because we know the clarity. I'm just grateful we know what we know right now.
Mm-hmm. It's like we're holding the future. We really are holding the future.
It's seriously holding it. Seriously holding it. Yes. Yes.
And helping people, helping others move, and ourselves too. It's like we're not a finished product either. But,
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheila. That's beautiful. Well said for the second time.
That's right. Okay. So what we have been doing, and if we need any conversation before we get into it, that's fine. I'll do that then. But what we've been doing is each of us in our own way, bringing in our team, bringing in our support. We've got the circle created. We've got the guardians here, guardian protocol, so that we can be guided into the future, rather than assuming that the future's not even begun yet. There is a future, and there's a future that we have the right and authority to choose out of all possibilities. And we could make the statement in this present moment, and probably do a pretty good job of it. That's what we do monthly. But here we let that be as it is, and we travel into a future in which we don't even know where we'll be drawn, because how can we know the possibilities? We don't. And we let that group of intelligences that we call our guides and our broadcasting team take us to that future, so we can really get a sense of it. In that experience, it exists, and we have the opportunity to be in it, to witness it, to feel it in whatever way we do, and then to dialogue with that future and those in the future. What is it that we would most powerfully bring humanity there, that we could bring back? It might be a code, it might be numbers, it might be a song, it could be colors, it might be an essence. And what would be a symbol of that? So we literally are now co-creators with the future, and bringing it back to anchor it here, to let it pull us, and us work with greater clarity and power with that which exists already. So is there anything anybody wants to put on the table before we begin that journey? And we can also change it. We can, and of course, it might get changed in the moment, that as soon as we're on the path, which is totally good too. Anything you want to say before we start? Okay. Let's breathe in that pink energy of grace, of love, brilliant purple of our healing collective, protective hazmat suit of the guardian circle protocol. Call to you those who are ready to take you today into the future. If you need them to be closer, ask them to be closer. If you need to feel their presence, ask that they come closer. If you need greater support, ask for greater support, whatever you need. We travel safely, protected and guided. When you're complete, you'll come back, anchor it here if you have your crystal. If not, get a crystal. Be ready to program it for the crystal to hold that code. So here we go. Breathing in the energy and intelligence that has been calling us today to come together, come together, come together. The excitement of those who are ready to open the journey for you. There they are. Feel the tug that moves that brilliant, magnificent soul energy of you up and out of the body to travel the path that lays there before you. Sense the path, colors, the feelings. Move safely, powerfully, and we'll see you back when you return. Okay. Are you ready? Anyone not ready, raise your hand. I'm gonna go get my crystal. Okay. Who'd like to start? Just raise your hand and jump right in there.
I can go first. Oh my God, I went nowhere.
What did you do in that nowhere place?
I mean, it was pure bliss. I mean, I was like, am I asleep? No, I'm not asleep. This has happened the last 3 times I've tried to, I'm just like conked over the head, but perfectly fully aware.
Yeah.
I was like a wall. It's like I started to try to travel, and then it was like like a black rubber trampoline. It wouldn't let me through, and I'm like, really? Okay, then just show me the truth. Show me the truth. Show me the truth. And I saw a flash of that picture of Donald Trump getting off the airplane with his tie undone, holding his wrinkled baseball cap in his hand, completely defeated after coming home from his Oklahoma event, which was not successful. I mean, he was so disheveled and so discouraged. So they showed me a flash of that, and I went. And then they showed me a castle, and in the castle, I was asleep in the tower, and I was awakened. And it sort of had that feel of the Jane Eyre.
Shiddea, I forgot. I wanted this part recorded, and I forgot. So I'm going to record, and you go. Can you go back? I'm recording all the time. Okay, here we go, Cinda.
Okay, so I went nowhere, and I wondered if I was asleep, and then I wasn't asleep. I realized I was fully conscious. So I was trying to travel into the future, and I hit this black thing that just sort of stretched out and came back, kind of like an invisible trampoline, but it was black, and I couldn't get through it. And I'm like, okay, so then just show me the truth, show me the truth, show me the truth. I mean, like where I am today, just take me on a journey, show me the truth. And I saw a flash of that video of Donald Trump getting off of the airplane, coming back from the Oklahoma thing that he did, speaking engagement, which supposedly wasn't very well attended. And his red tie's undone, and his jacket's open, and he's got his red hat crinkled in his hand, and he looks so discouraged and disheveled and tired and coming home all by himself, like no friends. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Okay, so what I'm asking to be shown the truth, and I saw a glimpse of that. And then I flashed to what looks like medieval days, and there's a castle, and I think it's me. I'm asleep up in the top bed tower, and I wake up, and then I had sort of the feeling of Jane Eyre, you know, Charlotte Bronte's story, Jane Eyre, and I didn't know if that made me the crazy woman locked in the tower, or if that made me Jane Eyre. I don't know. So all I know is that I was awakened in the tower. And then as I'm coming down, I realized that there was my dragon, because I've been flying on this dragon in other journeys, and the dragon's asleep. So I'm like, oh, that looks really comfy cozy. And I'm like, okay, walking around my garden. And I'm like, okay, show me the truth, show me the truth, show me the truth. I kept seeing, you know, just some fires, some loud voices, but I didn't hear a lot or see a lot of violence, which was really nice. Just things, I think just, I guess the overall takeaway is things got really quiet, things were peaceful, but people were still waking up. They were awake. There was no big, giant anything. But basically, I couldn't get through this barrier. So, and it kind of felt spongy as well as like a brick wall. So I thought, all right, I'll just bring back one of the bricks from the brick wall. So my symbol is the brick. Ah, yeah, okay, that's it. Whichever one wants to go next can. I'm so disappointed. I wanted it to be like a rock star moment. You're muted, Sheila.
So Sharon, Twyla kept coming, and she reminded me, and I did it, and that was I went to the center of the earth, and I was very locked on to the iron ore crystals, or the presence of the center of the earth, and then I brought them forward. That's how it feels through this whole event. Being with you guys, I've never felt so centered, so solid, so full, so complete. And holding it is just what I'm going to do. So, as far as what I brought back, I was given twice now, I was given a round white pebble to bring back, and then the second time it was a round black pebble, and this time I got one of each. And so I'll just hold firm to the light, hold firm, and bring the darkness to the light, bring the darkness to the light. And Kelly, would you like to go next?
Sure, thank you, Sheila. So this is interesting. So I at first wasn't going to go anywhere, and I felt like I could have just nodded off to sleep and would have been just fine hanging there for a while. But what I was shown was a square, like Venice Square, you know, where all the pit, like a square, but the square was blue lapis.
Ooh.
All the tiles on the square were blue lapis, and I don't know a whole lot about stones, but I clearly knew it was blue lapis. And what I could see was these white energetic beings, if you will, or it's almost like everybody's soul energy walking around. But as we would pass each other, or the energy would skirt each other, a ring within, a circle within that energetic field would illuminate. So you'd walk by this person and the skirt of my ring would be turquoise. I'd walk by this person and my midriff might be pink or whatever. And so every time there was an energetic touch, there was a remembrance of how I know this person, what this person is to me. So in a way, I kind of was thinking of the swirling dervishes, and they have that skirt. I kind of feel like I had a hoop skirt on, because most often it would be my skirt that had the color, the ring on it. So I'd be walking, everybody's walking through the plaza, the Lapis Plaza, and their skirts are touching each other. So you see all these colors going off because, oh, I know you from over here. And oh, and I remember you from over here. And oh, we knew each other then. And so there's this exchange of remembrance, but recognition of walking together, walking forward together. It was all very forward motion and movement and truth and wise and lovely and just calm. And every time you brush somebody, there was just this, oh, I know you. You know, that feeling of, you know, that chill that you get when you know something to be true, right? The way the body reacts. That's the way the energetic field. So just think of these white energies walking in their little skirts being lit up as they're tapping on each other. So that's really what I got. And then a couple of times I drifted out of that and kind of went to a place of like sleep, and I'm sitting in the bottom of a small canyon, I want to say like in New Mexico, but it's circle. And Rogue, my dog, is running and running and running around the circle, and all of a sudden he jumps off the ledge, and I'm like, wait! And I'm trying to catch him, because they don't really pay attention. They just go. They see they're human, and they'll jump off of a cliff where they're human. because they're not, they just don't have that kind of common sense. Like, where's my trail? I'm just going to grow wings and fly. So I'm like, wait, I can catch you. So I think that was more metaphorically just how I'm feeling right now. So he's just kind of going in circles and he's jumping and I'm like, okay, wait. So anyway, that was just a little fun little thing.
Cute.
I'm complete, Sharon.
Okay, so what I got was like, what's the next expression of this community? That was what we want to show you, the next expression, not way, way, way into the future, but the next expression of this community. And they said they said, we just want you to be assured that the pillars for how the community's growing, and I'm just using the word pillars, like what's going to hold it up. The pillars already exist. They're already here. They're doing their job. And the foundation is strong. So just keep feeding the pillars, keeping the foundation strong, and mature, and trust the mature. And it was really important that they say mature relationships are happening. And just to keep feeding what we're already doing, knowing that there's other pillars, other relationship circles. It was again that circle thing, that are already in place where we're at. So you're going to get here. I said, what kind of like what circles, They said, well, just there are 13 circles that's going to be the next level out. Like, you have the crystal broadcasters, you have the time travel, you have the guardian circles, you have the academy. Now you have the women remaking the world. Those are all pillars. They're all circles. They're interwoven with one another, and yet they have separate people in all of them. And so what would it look like when you have the economy pillar solid? Because we've got that growing. What will happen with maybe helping people build a whole new educational system? What will that be like? What will happen when we hold a pillar for treating people who are not well, who have been traumatized, instead of putting them in mental health prisons or in prisons themselves? What would happen if people who are not well are really taken into a real effective healing, nurturing, so they can be well? What would that look like? So they said the things like that. And I said, are those 13 known? And they said, they're known, and we'll give you the names of them, but right now just know they're already here. So I reminded me of the mandalas that Kelly created, and all around that in relationship to the women remaking the world. Again, that circles and circles and circles. Circles within the economy are already started, by the way, are already starting from. I want to talk about that in another situation. And then it says, okay. And the other thing I wanted to share didn't really come today, but it's been in this vision, but just in the last few days, more and more and more, is that the outsiders is like, it's like, get your career changed, because the outsiders are so minimalized that it's not letting go of that. Keep that going, but is no longer. It's like the Trump. Like, I totally went, oh yeah, and so we're moving into a place of stability. Yes, and the stability is stronger because less domination energy there. And it literally, the percentage of what is here and influencing is really, really being minimalized. And so we are, it's going to be interesting to see what that means. So that's what I got, is what are the next pillars that are there, and yet they're ready to be started here and recognized as such. And I think that's where I'm at. So here we are. Anything that came up for any of you through
I
that?
just wonder, how come I haven't seen much or traveled much? It's like, why they just have me sit in blackness and quiet. Why are they? And what?
Well, your whole, this is how I would jump on it, and you guys can jump on it too. It's like you're holding a stability. You're representing and holding a stability. It's like there's not a lot of travel action right now. It's like a bit, but you're right here, you're holding that stability. I mean, what were you feeling? Pure bliss. Hello, is that what we need to feed? Yes, yes. And so it's like, I've used the model of we're a relay team, right? We're a relay team, and sometimes, and it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And sometimes we're very, very, very active because we've got the pole that we're running with, while others are there just holding the team in place. And none of us, one's not better than another. It's that integrated valuing that what we're called to do, and if that means sitting in this bliss place. And when you said why they showed you Trump's going. That's why. I don't know, that's my take.
And that I'm still awake. I'm not a damsel in distress. I still have my dragon. It's still there. I can travel when I want, but I'm not. I'm just like trying to get through the it's not budging.
You're in that space in general, just in general, family and you even
I
said
lack,
call.
I lack nothing. There's no big changes coming in my life. I'm just content,
beautiful.
solid, grounded, blissful. Yeah. Just
And
interesting.
Shiddea, I'd like to add something with that when you speak, because I don't travel a lot, but I'm feeling this incredible stability of grounding. And the first thing that comes to my mind is be still and know I am. So I know that's my part in this. I'm claiming it as my part, and it might very well be a big part for you too, because that's I think, very valuable at a time like this.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. That helps. So.
And also, I mean, there's something about July 4th that I haven't dug into. And so there might be something about that in relationship to what you thought you would be doing that day and what you may or may not be doing that day. So it's like, where does Spirit want you? Where does this bigger plan want you?
Yes. I've been thinking that too.
And it may not be where you physically would love to be, but there's something bigger going on. It's like there's something really energetically rocking and rolling during that 4th of July period. And whatever your part is going to be best done in some physical, where you are physically.
Well, there you go. That's it.
And I think that I wanted to say that to all of us, like, let's not ignore. I know that in the Guardian Circles, we've talked a little bit about that. That's when it really started majorly last year, July 4th, that there was a plan. July 4th was the big beginning place. We really crippled a lot of that, but there's still that plan. And so what is this July 4th all about? Be in the place you're called to be in relationship to your place of dismantling whatever that's about. So good to see you guys. Thank you for waking me up again.
Quick
Good to see you
question.
all.
Same time, Sheila. Do we have a 5 p.m. call tonight?
We do have,
Okay.
the steering committee does, and I forgot to send out a reminder. Emma is sending out a reminder. It may be short because, touch bases. I thought those of us who can touch bases. Okay. Until next week. Okay. Love you guys.
Love you
High
too.
five, elbow bump.
Right. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Cinda.
Congratulations, Sharon, with everything.
You too. Oh my God.
Well, am I part of that 5 o'clock call tonight? Because it's not on my calendar.
Yeah, that's the collective, once a month collective. I didn't send out a reminder, and I don't go by the calendar because I get my even now my phone dropped today is 2 o'clock. So, but it kept the 5 o'clock. I don't know. Yeah,
So is that for Women Remaking the World, or is that for
that's for the collective, Sacred Ground Collective, and we only meet once a month right now.
Okay.
Those of us who can.
Okay.
Okay. Love ya.
Love you.